Justice, thanks for joining Dates for Rates today. Maybe you can tell us, who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Okay. Justus Sharp. I'm with NFM Lending. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Been doing retail origination since '07. Great time to get in the business, right? So,
It is actually. You're kidding, but I actually think it's exactly the right time to get into the
right.
business.
I agree. So was in mortgage in the wholesale space before, transitioned back to retail in '07. So been doing it for a while. Seen the good, bad, and the ugly, and lots of different programs, different products come out, and obviously using a lot of this tool, the knock home swap, a lot right now.
Awesome. And you've been in this 20 years and you have a team. Can you talk a little bit about in the Ohio area, but maybe you could talk about the kind of volumes you guys do, transactions, whatever you're comfortable with, and where other than potentially Ohio?
Yeah, so mainly it's all referral based business for me, mostly realtors, past clients, and then just Sphere. So the outside of the state stuff that I do is Sphere. So Carolinas, Virginia, Florida. Got a lot of transplant Buckeyes that like to move to Florida.
Sphere relocation?
What's that?
The Sphere relocation?
Yeah, these just people I know, or business connections, those sort of things. And then a lot of my past clients, I've done a handful already this year of people that have either moved further south that were clients of mine here locally, and they've just decided to move further south. So
when COVID hit, did you see the need to get licensed in more markets? I think people probably moved to Ohio, not away from Ohio, the way they did LA and Seattle and all the expensive places. But I'm curious if you saw the need to go broader.
I saw the need. I'm licensed in probably about 11 states total.
Oh, wow.
So just kind of I'm the branch manager here at our local office. Now we have a couple different offices inside of Columbus, but Grove City is my neck of the woods, kind of southwest corner of Columbus. So I manage 2 different loan officers and myself. So as far as that goes, we just try to keep it pretty simple and have the rest of us try to cover all the states that we can.
How would you describe the market in Ohio right now?
Bananas.
How so?
Right? Depending on what publication you're looking at or reading, it's either the second or third hottest market, and we feel it, right? It's kind of, I always just say it's kind of gone back to a normal market. It slowed down a little bit the last few weeks, but this morning had 5 leads. People, the weather. We were just talking about the weather right before we started recording. Is spring has sprung for a lot of people, and we're through spring breaks. We're through the natural slowdown. Was that Easter, spring break, the natural things of people being out of town and not really thinking about it. But now they're like, oh, now we've got to get the house prepared. We've got kids are leaving. We're ready to sell the house and do something different. So.
The national inventory reports keep saying, we're now 25% nationwide, 25% up on inventory year over year. How is by the way, I found we double clicked on that last week and looked at all the markets in the US, and we found there's a tale of 2 cities, ones who are significantly lagging that statistic and others who interestingly are exceeding it, which is pretty interesting. Where does Ohio fall?
Our Columbus market, local, is probably 3 to 4 weeks of inventory, maybe. So we're still, if you look at the diagrams, it's still a very, very much a seller's market.
Yeah. And I assume what's the median house price in Ohio, in the 500, 600K range?
In Franklin County, it's 273 actually. Okay. So, in as far as the numbers from February, we haven't gotten the numbers from March yet from Franklin County, or at least I haven't bothered to look at them, just being busy today, but they should be out now for March.
Yeah. So no wonder you're a hot market, because you're one of the last affordable places in the country presumably at those price points. Not many markets can tout that kind of price point anymore. Are you in a scenario where there's a lot of bidding wars on the inventory that is available?
Yes. I mean, that was the battle all weekend long, as I was saying before we were jumping on here. Just fighting for everything, trying to make the offer as competitive as possible, contingencies being removed, speed. I always just say there's three things that every seller is looking for right now, right? Top dollar, flexibility with possession, and speed. How quickly can you close? So
yeah. It's interesting you said your business is referral. I'm curious, there's an assumption, I think, or presumption, that someone's been in the business for 20 years and presume they do, well and are reputable, don't have to work very hard. All the business comes to them. It sounds like a lot of you have built up quite a referral network and you're not doing a lot of prospecting. Is that true?
Oh, no. I mean, prospecting my brains out. I mean, if you're not doing the activities, you don't just sit back. Like, you never arrive, right? You never just, you get there. And if you do, you'll quickly learn you didn't arrive, right? Yeah. If you rest on your laurels or you just assume people are going to know what you do, it's just wrong. So,
yeah. We interviewed one of your colleagues the other day, Ollie, and he said, not prospecting would be like, why to think that you don't no longer have to actually tell customers that you're there would be like saying, well, Apple, everybody knows what an iPhone is. They shouldn't have to advertise ever again.
Right.
They do. They spend probably billions of dollars in marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The product is the marketing, but also you need a loudspeaker to broadcast that. I think it's important for those who think they are waiting to arrive, know that they're never going to get there. You should just suck it up and figure out how to keep dividing and conquering with your time.
Yeah, and there's a I'm probably going to butcher the quote, but like a Thomas Edison quote, it's like opportunity. It gets misconstrued because it looks like work and it's usually dressed in overalls, right? Like it's a lot of work. There's opportunity, but if you're just sitting back, you're never going to get it. You're never going to be able to take the opportunity to take market share. That's what I'm looking at. It's an opportunity. So I was out at open houses on Saturday, Sunday, working the weekend. That's when real estate happens. So
yeah. So I was going to ask you, how do you, one of the things that I see, whether it's an agent, I've been in this business a long time, 20 years as well, in various aspects. And what I see agents do is, and I think loan officers are similar, they prospect like crazy until they get busy, and then they stop prospecting until they're not busy. And then when they start prospecting again, they have a 3-month, lead time until someone's ready to buy a house. It's sort of like a death spiral, if you will, right? How do you segment? Because it's tempting to just deal with inbound, especially 2 years ago when it was just coming in waves. How do you sort of segment your time on? Do you sort of block time in the morning to do your outreach, and then you sort of inbound in the afternoon? Like, how do you?
We try to just recently, actually the opposite. Try to get some of the red time stuff done early, so you're not being pulled back into it. Yeah. So you try to do the file work. If you have to do the file work early, that means just get to the office earlier and get that stuff out of the way, fire off the emails, do the things, and then grab the desk phone, grab the cell phone, whatever it takes. Like I probably already, it's 2:00 right now. I probably already have 4 hours on the phone today.
That's great.
I mean,
and it sounds like you're, what you talked about over the weekend is doing open houses where you presumably have your partner realtors who are doing those open houses, and you're there to be supportive and manage the build a relationship.
Yep. So a couple of them were, new realtors, sprinkled in with realtors I was just stopping by just to reconnect. One I sat on Saturday the whole day with her just to kind of manage and help it. But it was a reconnect too. We haven't, we've kind of both been super busy and other activities and haven't really gotten a chance to get together. So just like, hey, I'll help you out with that open house this weekend. So.
the market's been sort of a whipsaw for the last 2 years, and I think even on a month-to-month basis with rates bouncing around. How do you personally deal with stress and, ebbs and flows of the market?
I actually I did a 75-day hard this beginning of this year, and I'm still on it. I've done the 75 days, and I'm still doing that. I think it's actually
75-day what?
Hard. It's 2 workouts. It's like it's a lot of. It's actually helped me to be more energetic while I'm here. I sleep better. The whole 9 yards. Like, I think you have to be like at your A game all the way right now. Like, there's no slipping up. Like it, and part of that is you don't drink. You're eating well. Like, everything has to be treated as top notch. You got to be on your game. Like, you get tired after after you've helped a client make 20 offers on houses and they still haven't gotten something. That's a lot, right? It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
You got to be the positive person all the time, so your energy level has to be like as high as you possibly can get it.
Yeah, you're speaking my language. I tell people, if you see me getting in better shape, it means I'm stressed out and I'm spending more time in the gym. Yeah. So there's a direct correlation between how good I look and how bad I feel.
Right.
So
right. You got to get that punching bag a few times in the morning, and it relieves that stress.
Yeah, a different topic, but people, it's a contradictory thinking, but people think working out, I'm too busy to work out, it takes energy from you. It's just the opposite. If you do it right and do it consistently, more importantly, it gives you energy. It keeps you pushing through.
I like that regimen because I'll do it in the morning. It gives you that boost, and then later in the day. But I also, like I said, helps me to go to sleep and get well rested for the next round, which is the next day.
Critical. Yeah, I'm monitoring HRV, heart rate variability, and all the things, and I'm training for a competition right now. So I feel that's great. That's a great outlet. Diet and exercise can manage a lot. Help you manage.
And I'm focusing on the leadership. Like, an aspect of that is you got to read, leadership book or self-improvement book as well. So my main thing has been leadership. So just because of the team, like, you said, how do you manage to try to keep the trajectory like that? Well, if you have a team, I bring in the loans. I have the team to help me do the loans, right? Like, I get the loans, they do the loans. And
specialization.
I have to step in and help them. Don't get me wrong, because everything's a little weird right now, and there's little nuances that they aren't aware of, or even sometimes I'm not aware of, and got to check myself on guidelines and things like that, just because we're doing so many types of loans. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's all over.
How do you, a lot of people feel, what we're hearing is a lot of people feel stuck with high rates and no inventory. Sounds like you're in that same pocket of market. What counsel do you give your clients as they start to come to you with the dreamy eyes? They're maybe not as plugged into the market yet.
Yeah. So I think keeping it super simple to them, and in my market, we share a lot of vital stats with them to say, look, we're one of, just like you said, we're one of the most affordable areas in the country. So we have to give them perspective when we do that. Yeah. So we just show them data instead of saying, hey, I think interest rates are going to go down, or I feel interest rate. They're just like, you're just selling something. If you think or feel, you show them the information, you show them the data. There's truly information that's saying, hey, do you think, well, the way it's going right now with Intel, with Google, with all the things going on around Columbus, Honda's putting an EV plant just south of me. That's going to be, huge. The Google plant's like 10 minutes down the road from me. So it just means I'm actually like looking at it as opportunity. But I asked the client point blank, hey, do you think the house is going to be worth more in next year, or right now? Is it cheaper?
Yeah.
And usually they're like, yeah, you're right. I mean, if invest in billions of dollars. These great companies are coming here. Do you think the houses are going to be worth less or more next year or 5 years from now?
Yeah, and the beauty is obviously the whole point of this show being called Date the Rates is you can refi later, but you can't negotiate a lower price if prices go up and there's demand. Yeah.
And we show them, we use a tool, Mortgage Coach, to show them, hey, if you wait for that rate to come down, that could mean 10% higher in the price. Well, what does that look like? It actually means you're going to pay more in down payment, more, even if the rate comes down, you're still paying more in monthly payment. So, again, you just have to show them the true logical numbers and not the feelings and trying to sell them something.
Yeah, and the real cost of ownership, which people don't think about. Oleg said, think about you're just going to get a bigger interest mortgage just right off right now.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Do the mortgage tax credit right now. You should do that. Like if you can qualify for it, and we show them that too. Like there's things that you have to be a really good loan technician right now.
For sure, be financially creative. I think it's the way to think about it. What else are you hearing or seeing? What else are you telling your clients or even your team on how to manage right now?
I just keep, we just keep the positivity up. The for the team, it's hey, this is an opportunity for us to take market share. Hey, this is opportunity for us to get better every day, to learn something new. I try to meet with the branch with my whole team and my loan officers at least twice a week. We go around, we ask, hey, what did you learn this week? What's going to make this week a win? At the beginning of the week and then the end of the week, kind of a download. And focus on that. Focus on the activities. You can't really focus on the results right now or compare to where you were 3 years ago when it was like Disneyland, right? So
yeah. Do you when you talk to clients, how do you coach them to be ready to be? I'm assuming you need to be aggressive, right, with contingencies and asking price. Mm-hmm. How do you coach them into like, hey, go do a couple weekends and get used to it, and then you educate yourself, and then be ready to like rip.
Yeah,
right. Because you gotta be competitive.
Yeah, I kind of turn the tables on them a little bit and ask some questions and just say, hey, what have you heard? What do you know about the market? So I kind of start there, to be honest, and just say, like, what do they know? Like, kind of gauge what they know. All they know is, like, I hear houses are going over list. I hear you have to, sell your firstborn, like all sorts of things. And then we talk about it. I'll try to bring some levity to it a little bit and then go from there. So
this has been great. Any words of wisdom to leave to part with?
No, I mean, I love using I've really pushed the knock program out to a lot of my realtor partners just because it's so different. And it does take a technician to explain it to the client and the realtor, to, put them in that, give them that benefit, right? Because they, even if they offered with a contingency, if we could get an offer accepted that way, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be paying more for the house anyway. So the cost benefit, you just have to show them what that looks like. Again, I'm not really selling anybody on anything. I'm more telling them what they need to do. If they really, really love the house, sleep in it or sleep on it, like it's only 2 options.
Yeah, that's great. And you've been a great partner, and most importantly, appreciate your feedback to help make better and the program better. So, you have definitely put your fingerprint on the product. So, appreciate your continued support and feedback.
And that's what I love about doing this is we'll all get better from it. And I think that's what's happening too right now. Right, we're getting to an area where it's condensing. And you've got to be better. So it's just making everybody raise their game. So
100%. Only the strongest survive, right?
That's right.
That's right. Awesome. Justus, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, Sean, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to help, and hopefully this was impactful to someone somewhere.
Absolutely, it was great.